Welcome back to another rebuild here on Madden 24, and today we take on the Packers rival of the rebuild I just did yesterday in the Chicago Bears, a team that I actually had doing really well this season, or last season if you want to count it now, on offense, and maybe them being pretty bad on defense. I thought it was a pretty smart move, try to bolster up that offense with a trade, that involved DJ Moore, and, see if you got Justin Fields, if he's the franchise quarterback or not, and then work on the defense later. You have time to work on that, but kind of ended up becoming the opposite, where their defense actually became one of the best in the league, especially against the run. And their offense, it stepped up as well, but it still is just so woeful in the pass game. And with that being said, obviously the first thing you're going to think of is Justin Fields. Will they or won't they? Are they going to keep Fields, trade back, add some talent, give him more chances, or are they going to draft Caleb Williams or a different quarterback at number one and move on from Fields maybe during the draft or after the draft when teams get even more desperate? Who knows? But the question is, what is the smart decision? And I genuinely can't tell what it is with Fields. Like, my brain wants to say he can't read a defense and it's just too difficult at the pro level, which, once again, when we're talking about football, I don't know why it needs to be said, but some fans get really, insulted. No, I cannot do better, okay? When someone talks about these things, it does not mean they can do better. I could not even last a single play in the NFL, so let's get that out of the way. But it's tough because there's certain plays where you're just like, what are the Bears coaches doing? You've got 2 to 3 guys running basically in the same vicinity of the field. What are you doing? And then you have other plays where it's a really good design, the guy's wide open, and Justin Fields won't pull the trigger. He won't throw the ball, holds on too long, takes a sack, whatever. And it's just the offense is just not good. I, once again, can't tell if it's the coaching, can't tell if it's Fields, maybe a little bit of both. But what I can say is, I don't know if Fields is a guy that has it. I don't know if he could go into a super complex scheme and just nail it. But at the same time, I don't know, because the Bears coaching has seemed very bad. A lot of short plays, a lot of lack of trust in Fields type of plays. But at the same time, Fields is also squandered wide open reads, like we said, and taken sacks that he shouldn't have taken. Everyone wants to complain about, the Bears offensive line, man, it's terrible. He's always running for his life and all that. Well, technically, he had the longest time to throw in the league, which counts the time from snap to release or from pressure, which obviously if you're scrambling out, it's kind of pressure, right? And to add to that, Tyson Bagent, he had a 2.6, which is top 8, I believe, top 10 range. So it's not like it's just Fields scrambling, buying time. Unless you think Tyson Bagent is also an elite scrambler that is one of the best in the league. But obviously it's not a perfect line, but it is far from the problem. I think a bigger problem that Bears fans really don't want to admit to, maybe they are now, is lack of separation. Wide receivers, DJ Moore I think might have been in the top 25 for separators. But for the most part, they weren't necessarily getting that open. Like I said, there was some plays where they're wide open, Justin Fields wouldn't pull the trigger or whatever, but they were not consistent separators, and that obviously can affect your ability as a quarterback as well. It's just you not trusting what you're seeing, and I think realistically, they need a new number 2 wide receiver. We need a wide receiver that's basically a number 1, but has the luxury of DJ Moore on the roster and can be a number 2. Do you get that, though, if you take a quarterback at number 1? There's a lot of wide receiver needy teams after pick 3. Who doesn't need an extra wide receiver? But there should still be at least, a couple of decent names when they're at 9. So we'll see what happens. This is going to be a Caleb Williams rebuild, as I've already done the whole Justin Fields thing. Didn't really work out. Went to the Falcons. Didn't work out with him either. Justin Fields and Sim is just not great. But then you look at the defense, and, they had some pretty good additions, right? Montez Sweat, I don't know if he actually finished it out or not. I think I said it even in that last rebuild with the Bears. If he was the first player in NFL history to lead 2 different teams in the same season with sacks, that he earned on that team, I believe. Not just obviously if you have a 15-sack season and you trade him off, it's 15 sacks is a lot, but you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he did have the most individual sacks for each team while playing for those teams. And then you look at other free agent additions. Not really sure why Edwards is this low. He was actually probably their best addition in DJ Moore, but straight up free agent, not trade piece. addition. Edmonds wasn't bad, but Edwards was just better, and the value was obviously a lot better. And then obviously we talk about Jalen Johnson in a really good year. The fact that he's not superstar plus after the year he had, we changed his contract to a 4-year $76 like he had in real life, is kind of absurd. Obviously Byard's here now, which I wouldn't say is a bandage, but 2-year $15. He's not being paid like in the All-Pro that he once was. But looking at a pure Madden standpoint, it seems to be that, the D-line definitely could use a lot of work. Maybe another linebacker. And I think we're fine at corner. I think the defense is actually in a pretty good spot. And then offensively, obviously, we're going for a new quarterback. Going to try to get a new number 2 wide receiver. And then a couple of linemen wouldn't hurt. But as far as a Madden team goes, this team's actually in a really good spot. And, of course, I know a lot of people have been, DMing me, or not DMing me, but tagging me and commenting like, you predicted Swift to the Bears. I know I didn't predict anything, but it is kind of cool that he did end up going to the Bears. And, he's basically a goon in our franchise right now. But it really does also suck that Cole Kmet's already a superstar here, and Edmonds is a superstar with DJ Moore X Factor. I can't do that in the Bears franchise. I'm just selling, okay? What can I tell you? Also, 2 more things. I'm really selling you guys because I know I did a vote, and I think the Giants won, but I kind of started recording this before then, so whoops. And then, of course, the Bisons franchise probably should have an episode today, but I'm not going to get to it. We'll end up having it tomorrow, but I apologize, all right? I'm selling, but at least we've got some rebuilds. There you go. Unfortunately, not going to be able to see free agents, and I still, like I said, need to get Gerald Everett and Jonathan Owens, and I don't know if those are going to be guys that really get too many looks in the AI department, but yeah, we're going to try to get them. Also, I don't know why it needs to be said, as much as I want this to be fully realistic, right? There's some things that can't be realistic, and now it's not as fair an argument, because maybe in that Packers rebuild, I could have used Christian Watson, but let's say, for example, Andrew Billings is set to have a really good year, and he actually wasn't too bad of a signing for the Bears. He's set to have a really good year for the Bears, and he's doing really well. And someone's like, "Why aren't you using Andrew Billings? He's killing it this year." We do have to remember. I don't know if people realize this. We have to remember we are still playing a video game. Andrew Billings is a 29-year-old normal. I could literally user him, get him 40 sacks in a season, and he would never touch an 80 overall from this starting point. So when we're thinking about, realistically, who should we sign, who should we start, all these different things, you have to take that with a grain of salt. As much as I might think, Andrew Billings could be a goon in real life, I can't use him. So take that in mind when we're looking at other players. Like, there's a 72 overall, 26-year-old that is the new addition to the team. I guess the Falcons, Ellis, I think it was Caden Ellis from last year. I don't know if he went to the Saints or came from the Saints. I can't remember, but decently expensive contract for a relatively unknown player, and he had a pretty decent year, but he wasn't good in Madden. He was like a 26-year-old star, 72 overall. You couldn't really use him in rebuilds because, well, he was never going to develop. He was never going to do anything for you. So just keep that in mind when we're doing these rebuilds, okay? And some of these things are not correct. And, it's just going to be hard to do all this. I did try to change as much as I could and add players to the correct teams and whatnot, but some of them did slip through the cracks. For the most part, though, it doesn't really matter too much, although Mike Evans going to the Texans, I suppose, does. There's some names here, but, it's just going to be tough. When we were doing these rebuilds, these types of, plays would happen all the time. It's just, you're never going to get, maybe the first year you can get it perfectly realistic, but then there's going to be teams that just do really dumb things. As long as we're not signing the players that are on teams, I'm okay with it. All right, we're in the draft, and with pick number 1 overall, there's some people that think Caleb Williams is going to be a bust. Some people that think, and with that being said, some people think that Justin Fields needs more chances, which I'm on the borderline of I don't know. I really don't know if Fields is the guy, but I also don't know if Caleb Williams is the guy. There are some red flags, but with this, we are going to go with what seems to be the consensus number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, and 94 throw power, 85 speed, 6'1". Is he even? Who knows? And here, I'm really hoping this is May, because if this is May, I don't know. It's crazy to think, because I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually the pick that the Bears traded up to get Fields, the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken. But if this is May, I might be able to trade, and it is. I might be able to make the argument that maybe the Patriots don't like Daniels as much. don't know if I really like this decision. I don't know, because at the end of the day, I don't know if I think this is the most realistic thing in the world. I think it could happen, but do the Patriots want to gamble on Fields? I mean, I guess you're taking a gamble no matter what. I'm really debating on this. Pick 9 and Fields for 3. I'm thinking about it. But obviously, with this being said, I would think you probably need to trade even more. I don't know if I would say a future first, but kind of a first-round pick. So realistically, do I not just hope wide receiver's not gone with the Giants and then trade Fields and pick 9 straight up with the Giants to get whatever wide receivers remaining? I don't know if the Chargers are going to take wide receiver. I don't know if the Cardinals are going to take wide receiver, but it could happen. A part of me would really love to make that trade, but I just don't think Fields is worth that much. If Fields was worth what seems to be probably like at least a first-round pick, if you're thinking about pick 9 to 3, minimum a first, maybe like pick 20, I think they would have traded him already. I really do. And I just don't think that's the value they're getting. So hopefully the Patriots take QB. They do. The Cardinals, I hope they don't take wide receiver, but they probably will. And with no wide receiver being gone there, okay, now here's the thing. I don't know if wide receiver gets passed on twice in a row. I will say this is a little bit more realistic. Maybe the Giants do go for a rookie quarterback, but this makes a little bit more sense to me. They can still probably get a rookie quarterback at pick 9 at this point. They're apparently broke, but this is a lot more fair, I think. Moving up 3 spots from 9 to 6. The top 3 quarterback prospects are gone. I think we can easily make this argument, and that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to be trading up. I don't know if Marvin Harrison would be there. I mean, there's a lot of people that actually do like Nabers more, even though I think Marvin Harrison is the safer bet. This is a tough decision because obviously I want Marvin Harrison here, but the problem is I don't know if he is there at pick 6. That just doesn't seem like a reality. There's no way he goes past Arizona, right? So I think I'm going to go Nabers for the realism's sake. I mean, even Nabers might be gone by pick 6, to be honest, but at least this is a little bit more realistic. So we're going to go Malik Nabers with our selection here, as I just, like I said, think it's a little more viable and realistic that he would be there instead of Marvin at 6. I think that's fair. I don't think anyone can complain. I think we've done our realism as much as possible. And then we move all the way to the 3rd round. I don't know what our next pick is. I should probably know these things. We have an offensive lineman, Blake Fisher. They don't really have a need for tackle. Can't really move these guys around too well. D-line's definitely a need. I mean, we definitely want more O-line, but as far as like best value goes, it's probably going to be a tackle. And like I said, I don't think we need tackle too much. DBs are actually in a really good spot. Linebackers are in a really good spot. This team's in a really good spot on paper. It would probably be, like I said, something in the trenches, either side. I really want the lineman, but unless I'm making the argument that the tackle plays guard, which maybe he can, I don't know. I don't know if I see it. I guess I'm going to go for Blake Fisher. I'm going to go for Blake Fisher, and at 6'6", really not a whole lot of athleticism. Someone's going to have to move to guard. Blake Fisher, of course, normal dev, but the Bears do need a lineman. And all the way down to the 9th pick in the 4th round, would love to see someone for the defensive side of the trenches at this pick. We'll also have some O-linemen as well. Dwayne Carter. Didn't I grab him recently enough and he was like really bad? Or was I thinking about Corleone maybe? But I think I'm going to go with Dwayne Carter. And let's see. Normal dev, 88 strength, 73 speed as far as like development goes. Probably going to be that guy. And also, like, you know what? I'm not going to cry about it. You know, if you want to like go wild in the comment section saying, I don't know anything about the Bears and what their needs are and who they should take. And, oh, there's no way that guy would last that long in the draft. Whatever. You know, bring it to the comment section. We can talk about it. Maybe you do know more. I mean, it's impossible unless you're like literally physically paid to watch every single team. And even NFL analysts get it wrong all the time. There's people that mention names that haven't been on the team for a year or two. You know, it's impossible to be the expert of every team. And I'm far from that. And there's a lot of people that, you know, are going to be, you know, more in tune with the Bears or the Raiders or the Seahawks or this or that. So let me know in the comment section below what you would do if you were in this situation with the team. What positions, which I'm going to go for a new lineman as well here. I think I'm going to go Brandon Coleman. Big dude as well. normal dev. I'm trying to find a hidden, to be honest. I'm trying to find a gem. But you're like, maybe you're watching this like, no, not 2 linemen. You just said the line's not that bad. Where's the cornerback depth? Where's the wide receiver depth or whatever? Yeah, let me know in the comment section below. We can discuss. But don't come to the comment section. You do whatever you want, I guess. But also at the same time, if I want to, I could just remove the comment because it's we're going a little too crazy over some football. But don't come in like you idiot and you're the dumbest person. Like, come on, let's relax. But looking at the draft class, 78 overall, 79, 70, 69, 68. Yeah, outside of the first round, not looking too hot. But no second round pick to go for. Nothing past the 4th round. I don't know if there's some compensatory picks that were owed, but obviously it's already one thing to trade all of the little random trades and signings that have happened during this offseason. It is impossible to do compensatory. Like, you literally can't add it. But obviously we have a number 1 wide receiver that's playing number 2. And a number 1 quarterback who, once again, in real life, is he a number 1 guy? We'll see. We'll see. There's obviously, some questions about level of competition. Like, can he win against good teams? But we'll see. Obviously, in this rebuild, it's kind of set in stone. But will they actually win a Super Bowl, though? That's a completely different story. Also, I don't know if the Bears have any plans, but pass rush. We kind of need another edge rusher. I may have forgot about that. There was actually some options too. I really regret taking 2 linemen now. I feel like such an idiot. Now you can crap on me for that all you want, because yeah, I can't lie. I completely sold. I could have had some sort of youthful player at least kind of learning the ropes. Maybe they become great with a breakout dev. I don't know, dude. But yeah, I definitely just completely forgot about that. You were about to like and subscribe, and you didn't. Because of that, I've sold, and I apologize. Yeah, let's not talk about that whole pass rush situation, because I completely forgot about a pass rusher. I don't know why, an edge rusher at least. But offensively, not bad. Center, left guard, I know they're traded for Bates, and hey, maybe Bates and Davis could be great, even though I don't think Davis really had that good of a season last year. I think we're going to need to replace them. And then looking at wide receivers, I think we're set. I don't know about Cole Kmet, because he's not old, but as far as like a ceiling goes, he's 25. I thought he was 26 going 27. Okay, he'll be fine. We don't need to worry about that. And then offensively, yeah, we've got some work on the D-line. And like I said, with this whole Andrew Billings thing, he is easily the best defensive tackle on the team right now going into the season. But he's 29 years old normal, and he's like the same overall as 2 guys that are a lot younger. So I'm going to start the youth. And, anyone like, oh, you're just going for dev-ups all the time. It's like, well, that's the point. I mean, the rebuild would be literally useless. You guys see that. I don't always win a Super Bowl. Sometimes I don't even make the playoffs at all. And that's when I'm doing everything in my power to make a good team. If I were to start guys like Billings or like 27-year-old low overalls all the time and never try to develop someone young, we would just never go anywhere. So, I mean, it's a little bit of real life. It's a little bit of game. It's just the way it is. Until there's which I don't think that would really work in a sim situation, until it's like a dynamic thing where having a really good game upgrades your overall for the week or whatever. It goes by how you're playing. It's just irrelevant, and we have to go with the youthful players most of the time and try to develop them. But I also think a lot of you guys do understand that. So I'm kind of just for the most part, preaching to the choir, if you will. And also, I'm going to keep the Bears scheme on, but I guarantee you 1,000,000% we are not going to have that great of a season offensively. This is a scheme that's built to put up some rushing numbers. This isn't going to be some scheme where they evaluate exactly how the Bears play and this, that, and the other thing. It's going to be a scheme where they input, okay, the Bears have a quarterback that runs a lot and he's good at running. We're going to put up rushing numbers as much as we can, no matter who your quarterback is. You would see that with Kirk Cousins, guys like, really slow players. So we will probably have to change that at some point, but I'm going to at least give it the first season before we change anything, because maybe Caleb will get it done. I don't know. Well, it's kind of cool. We haven't really had this much. You're definitely going to get something under pressure with this, but XP... Nah, I'm always going to take the guaranteed points. 3 under pressure. 6 mil. We're actually having a pretty good year. Can't lie. Tevin Jenkins, actually a pretty good player on this offensive line. Here's the thing, okay? Now, we've always known it for a while, that the most unrealistic thing is contracts are fluctuating, right? There's real-life contracts that are more than in-game. There's real-life contracts that are cheaper than in-game. And O-line, especially guard, has definitely become one of those. We're just going to keep playing like, oh my god, it still didn't even accept it. But we're going to keep playing, like the in-game contracts are what matters. Also, we do have to edit Bayard's contract. But yeah, that's all that matters. We're going to play it how the contracts are in-game. We're not going to look at, oh, well, there's no way that this guy would sign for only this. I mean, look what happened in real life, because it just... You can't do it, all right? We're playing within the rules of the AIs as well, because they have the same situation going on as we do. Roll out the red carpet, baby. Dwayne Carter is a star dev, 10K XP as well. The Chicago Bears are astronomically selling, and we still make the playoffs at 9-8. I don't know if that's a good thing, but in Madden specifically, and hell, even in real life, I gotta say, even as a Packers fan, I mean, the one thing I think the whole NFC North can kind of agree... We had that many losses right at the end? Oh my god. But I was about to say, what most of the NFC North can probably agree with, I would imagine, is that it's anyone's division, kind of, except for the Vikings, right? And I'm not throwing shade at the Vikings. They know. I think their organization knows. I think the fans even know, realistically, that this is a time for them to get out of bad contracts, get out of, the older players on their roster, and just try to get younger, try to build up a roster. Maybe still even try to go for your franchise quarterback right now, because you still have a pretty damn good offense. But they do have a lot of holes missing, so, it is... I'm not really even sure where I'm going with this, to be honest, but yeah, it's probably not their year. But here we are with the Bears with a chance at it being our year. Really bad numbers. Oh no, look at that. Caleb Williams, 700 yards. They're like, finally, we got a guy that can scramble really well around here and can run design QB runs. Dwayne Carter with 7 sacks, though, and wow, these are numbers. So, Edwards should be a superstar, which is great. I am going to go straight into, I think, after this season, changing the playbooks around. I'm going to try to do something realistic. I don't really know what, but we're going to try to get a little bit more, some better numbers, but not OP numbers. And we do get Rookie of the Year on both sides of the ball. Very unrealistic that the Bears would get, Carter in the 4th round we got him, and he would be that guy like that to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but you never know. We've actually been seeing, when the Saints won Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year, it was like, holy crap, and then recently we've seen it, and it's becoming a little bit more common, which is definitely something. It's definitely surprising, but here we are in our first playoff game already in Season 1. I don't imagine we win maybe a game at best. If we made the Super Bowl, I would genuinely half debate just restarting the rebuild, because it's just not something that makes any sense. Sure, the Bears could go off and have a year because, once again, second half of the season, they're really good and they got some talent. They are not a talentless team. This is not the old Bears, a couple of years ago Bears even. This is actually a team with a lot of upside, and the right draft, if you want to go for a quarterback, or if you go crazy, trade down, get the wide receiver, get a pass rusher. Things get even crazier, but while I was yapping, we win the game. Oh, no. What is happening, bro? Oh, my God. Where the hell is Baker? We win a Super Bowl. I almost said win a Super Bowl year 1. We win a playoff game year 1. I didn't even know we were going to make the playoffs. But shout out Cole Kmet, already an 86 overall. Wasn't he like an 83 to start the season? I know he's a superstar, but god damn, he's kind of cooking. Still not fast, but cooking. But oh well, what can you do? Let's see, going against the Eagles, there's some, definitely some bad memories for Bears fans against the Eagles in the playoffs, without a doubt, but let's see if we have a better kicker this time. Santos has not missed a kick, I do not believe, unless he missed one in that game we just played, and I didn't notice it. But, yeah, I'm not saying I want us to lose this game, but as far as, realism goes, I kind of want to lose this game. 7-0. Bears answer back with 7. And once again, we're on the Bears scheme, so this could be a really weird rebuild where we kind of have to keep the scheme because, well, we're doing damage. I don't know if we're going to win this game. We actually have a chance. There's no way! What is happening? Oh my god, it's the championship round. It's the championship round. With the Bears scheme on both sides of the ball. I didn't change a single thing. I was about to say, though, we kind of have to keep the scheme because, well, we're winning with it. We made the playoffs. Barely, but we made the playoffs. And we're winning playoff games. I mean, we just need to find the reality button, which is, of course, the Dallas Cowboys. Look at Caleb Williams already, though. Yeah, that's the thing with these realistic rebuilds. If you go with one of the top-end quarterbacks, it's pretty easy. You have that quarterback situation set, whereas if it's a CPU draft, yeah, there's a good chance that you're going to get a good quarterback, but you're not going to get a superstar guaranteed, in the top 3 picks. And there it is, the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Reality. Thank you. Because, of course, reality with quote marks, because obviously the Cowboys doing what they're doing. Every damn sim, it seems. Not very realistic. The Jaguars going all the way. They do have a bunch of wide receiver options. Going to the end of the game. 7-0. Yeah, here it is. Whew. For a second there, I thought we were going to win a year 1 Super Bowl with the Bears. That would have been weird. As we are down 21-0 as expected. And yeah, there we go. The Cowboys have hit us with the classic Cowboys. And nice little effort near the end to only go down and lose by 14. But we do lose the game. And it's not really a good series for Caleb. All 3 playoff games, yeah, we won 2 games. Not great, though. It's a weird thing, like I said, because we're winning with the scheme, but I know, this is not a scheme that's going to be beneficial in the long run. We're not going to get dev ups for the receivers. Caleb Williams is probably not going to get dev ups, and his XP, even though he's a high overall already, isn't going to be as good as if he had like a traditional playbook where he's putting up, 30-plus touchdowns, under 10 interceptions, 4,000 yards, that kind of stuff. But I've got to keep rolling with it until it really sucks when it shouldn't. But yeah, the Cowboys versus the Jaguars, it would have been a really good situation to lose here and not make the playoffs. Cowboys win by 1. Oh my god, I just skipped right over our dev ups. We'll see in a sec anyways. And get an edge rusher. Should still be able to get someone, but it may require a trade up, which I really don't want to do. But edge, opposite side of Montez. And honestly, the way Montez played for us, kind of Montez even needs to be replaced, is definitely a position. But obviously we aren't going to replace Montez Sweat because he actually got paid. So it'd be pretty stupid to do that. But any dev ups, looks like Carter did go to Superstar, and I believe that to be it, which a lot of guys were already pretty high dev. But Carter, with that Superstar dev and a bunch of XP for winning awards and whatnot, is going to be likely a 78 overall plus, which is definitely great because that's one less position on that defensive line that we need to fix. And because it's a 4-3, it's pretty basic. I don't have to worry about trying to get a nose tackle and 2 other guys. It's just straightforward. I need 2 big dudes, 2 smaller dudes. Boom. And that was a nice upgrade. All right, re-signings. We took care of business and a lot of backup kind of level talent that doesn't really need to be around anymore. And once again, there's going to be someone in the comment sections be like, you are so dumb if you don't realize that Jalen Jones is the biggest player for this special teams in the world. It's like, okay, maybe, but like, I'm doing a rebuild here. I don't know every single player of every single team and how valuable they are if, they're a lesser known name. So relax. It's like some Bears fans are like, no, Jalen Jones is nothing, dude. I don't know what you're getting all worked up about. But 84 overall, Jefferson, a free agent. Crazy to think that. I mean, there's a chance. There is a chance. Things are getting wild. Apparently, he turned down $30 million per. That's all I can really say about that. But for what we need, we definitely could use O-line. But I don't think Tooney is a guy that's an option. Running back's fine for us. Coverage, don't really need that too bad. Maybe I'll look for someone to replace Sanborn. But overall, Armstead. I actually kind of want Armstead. We could use Armstead because our DT position isn't great outside of Carter. So I might go for the Superstar. What is his ratings? Yeah, 83 power move. Even just for like a year. Just because I don't know what kind of ability we'll have. Because I want to get edge rusher in the first, which could cost a third at least to move up in position. Leaving us with like a second and a fourth. I don't know if we have 2 seconds from the Panthers. We might. I need O-line. I need, like I said, probably a linebacker. And DT potentially, but if I get Armstead, I'm not guaranteed to need a DT. I might be able to relax a little bit. It's future safety because Byard's going to be gone after this season. It is the draft. There's a couple of pass rushers. They're definitely not all built the same. I have no idea what it's going to take to get one of them. It's the main guys I'm looking at are 1 to 2 outside linebackers. Don't remember if one of them I thought was kind of on the slower side, but we'll see what happens. We're going to have to at least go to 20 before we even think about trading up because I'm not going to go that high for an edge rusher. We really need one, but we can't go that high. Ferguson was one of my guys, but obviously, him and Hobbs I had them on my list. They both look pretty good, but there was never a chance they were going to fall. Klein is another one of them, though, which is definitely a sad. Rodgers was another one of them. Please! Stop. Stop it now. All right, so far so good. Okay, things are starting to look a little bit better. I have no idea. Well, we actually do have 3. We have Pagan, Knowles, and Rhodes. But Rhodes is the only guy without an A, so I think I trade up when it's down to just 1. Lindsey Long. Oh, looking pretty good so far. Still here, and that's my cue. And on top of it, we are trading up to a team that doesn't actually play a 3-4. I mean, I guess to be fair, they could move him over like we are, but this shouldn't cost too much. 3 spots for a 4th-round pick, and that will go. All right, here it is. I think it was Knowles we were going for, right? We also have pick 1 in the 2nd round, which must be the Panthers pick. Where is it? Mr. Knowles, Isaiah Knowles, 22 years old, 6'5", 258, so he's got a little bit of heft. And he's an A finesse, don't know the block shed, B awareness. I mean, he's not perfect looking, but as long as he's hitting, I'm down. Oh, no. He is not hitting. Okay. I mean, we might still have a really good, Carter was normal dev, got to star with a breakout, and then got to superstar with his Rookie of the Year award win. So, you just never know. You know what? Maybe I should have traded up. We could have had 2 pass rushers. Oh, well. We're going to move back to 46 with the Jets to gain a 4th round next year. Not the most lucrative trade in the world, but I think we might still be able to land some sort of DB, which is kind of what I'm thinking of for the future, mainly safety, which McDonald was one of them, in fairness. No way Blake goes 1 pick before me. The pains. The pains. We also do have Zaire Rodgers, though, who's still there. C-zone coverage. He's so small, though. Oh, man, I can't. I can't do that. At best, I'd take a corner that can play safety. Reggie Hoover. Maybe makes sense. 21 years. He's so tiny, too, though. He's great anyways, though. I'm going to take value. Hidden dev. I don't know where I'll play him. Maybe Kyler Gordon plays safety, actually, because he's not the most fast in the world, and he's actually, he's 6'1", 6'2", isn't he? Maybe he'll play our free safety spot in the future. I don't know if that's something he can do, but he's going to, so, get used to it, I guess. We got some linebackers. Holmes would be up there. We definitely need O-line, though. Not the strongest group of linemen I've ever seen, though. I'm kind of thinking I go linebacker here. Allen has an A-zone coverage. 22 years old. We're not really looking for linemen this season, technically. We have Gentry and Holmes as well. It's a late 2nd. I mean, these guys all look pretty damn good. Gentry's 22 as well. I don't know. I think Holmes is the safest bet with a bunch of Bs. I'm going Holmes. Yes! Hidden dev. Don't need any linebackers. We're set. What's our next pick, though? Oh. Maybe I made a mistake. All right, a 3rd this, a 5th this, and a 6th this for this trade up with the Colts, which is going to be DT, and Gaddis went. So the only other lineman I could really get here is going to be not the best-looking lineman, but he's someone. We really need a DT, though, because we did not get Armstead, unfortunately. I don't know what to think about this guy, but he does look kind of elite in some things, and he has an A finesse. This could be very much like the Bears guy that we actually just drafted recently enough in our Bears franchise, online user franchise, maybe check it out, who was just really bad. I think his name was Hale. It was like a 67 overall normal. Hoping not, though. I don't know, dude. Normal dev, there's some pretty bad ratings in there. We may have sold. I don't know if this is a bad decision, but a 3rd and a 4th next year with the Commanders. We have that 4th round pick from the trade down this year, so we do lose the 3rd, but we still have a 4th. I don't know who I even traded. I think I traded our own because I feel like we'll probably have another pretty good year. But Rhodes, definitely not the best lineman I've ever invested in, but he's the only option we have. Oh, that was a bad decision. I knew it when I went for him. It was a bad decision, but he was literally the best I had. Man, I really hope that edge rushers are really good overall because, yeah, we got a couple of hiddens in here, but the 2 players I really needed to be hidden, the O-line and then obviously the edge rusher, neither were, which is, it's a sell. It does suck. And I'm going to go Stevens. I did have a really fast wide receiver, but he's 23, and I almost never get value out of those guys. I'm going to go TJ Stevens instead. Normal dev, but he had some pretty classic, good ratings to use as a backup. But here it is, 70 million left, so if we have a good free agent period, maybe we'll get someone. Oh! The corner was a goon. don't really need him. I'm a little surprised to see a corner this high of an overall with Dev. He was hidden, right? It was the edge rusher that was normal. What's his ratings? Yeah, he's not the best. But, I mean, he's the best option we got, so we're going to go with the right end. I obviously had to compare him to the other two that we could have had. Pagan technically was a guy that we likely weren't going to have, and I would have never chosen the slowest guy out of the bunch. But Hoover, insane corner. I think this might even move Stevenson down. I'm not really sure. Dev, star Dev, kind of expected, but that overall is crazy high. I think Gordon has to play safety in the future, though. Holmes, I don't know what position. Left out, I think he's automatic starter, honestly, because his ceiling is so much higher than Sanborn. So we might even trade Sanborn off to a team like maybe the Eagles for like a 4th round. Oh! An X Factor! Okay, so, yeah, the hiddens we got were very good. If Johnson could have a freaking X... Oh, wait, no, he was normal. Why did I think he was... He's not as bad as the guy I was talking about that we had in our, what is that called? In our actual Bears franchise, but yeah, he's... Normal devs does suck, but he's got to start, so hopefully we're getting some devs for these D linemen. Where is Pagan? So 74 overall for Pagan. Also normal dev, but technically better than our guy with Power Rush, but not the fastest guy in the world. Knowles, ironically enough, the only guy without an A. Oh, no, not Knowles. That was our guy. Rhodes is the only guy without an A. Is going to be hidden dev. And he's literally better than our guy. He has higher block shed, which, to be fair, I didn't really know about that rating. But the same finesse with a B. That does suck. That does suck. So they're actually giving us some pretty good offers. This trade is really good. Tyree Wilson, I don't think he's ever going to develop. 25 years old already. Gabriel Murphy, I like. 4th round pick with Gabriel Murphy gives me more options at edge. I think I'm going to go Gabriel Murphy. I probably should have just drafted him myself, but that is a good trade for us. Probably a little too high of a trade, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'll give him back like a 5th round pick. I think that makes sense. The only problem is I don't know what team that was. It is now Season 2, and this is the squad. Definitely have not done a whole lot for this offensive line. I have basically real-life Bears this thing, but the rest of the players look pretty good. Then we move on to the defensive side of things. Don't know how Edwards didn't go up in dev, but sure. Everyone else looks pretty good, though. I don't know what's going to happen with Johnson or Knowles. And then, obviously, Gordon playing free safety after this season. But the defense is not really the primary concern. Getting more offensive linemen on the offensive side, obviously, is definitely a concern. And then, I suppose DT right end, we'll see. Maybe we do need another edge rusher, especially if Sweat isn't great. I might have to switch to the Bills defense. The Bills defense is usually pretty good. It's not OP, but it seems to be pretty good. I've had some decent numbers. Seems like they play to their strengths, but they don't like play better than they're supposed to, if that makes sense. So we're going to rock it and watch Sweat gets 20 sacks now that I mentioned it. And this is why we don't worry too much about the normal dev. Sometimes it can backfire, but it worked out. We get the star dev, 10k XP, just like Carter. Oh, Caleb Williams has been an X factor despite the fact that we lost the game. 129 mil, DJ Moore, yes. Brisker, yes. Braxton, yes. TJ, I don't know. That's a lot of money. Gordon, yes, because he's going to be our safety. And we're actually in a really good spot. I mean, even after all of those yeses, I still don't have the dress. Could have another playoff season with a different result. Oh, we got the division as well. We actually finished the season out strongly this time. And once again, we did change the Bills to the Bills defense, but kept the Bears offense, which I don't know what to think about because, like I said, we're winning games, but at the same time, it is not a scheme that is going to get you very many dev-ups, and that does matter. 29 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 3,500 yards. Swift was okay, but nothing crazy. And then Caleb Williams, another 700-yard season. Nabers, pretty good. Moore, okay. Scott, not the best. Komet, okay. But I don't know what scheme I would change to. So, just going to let it ride. Sack totals, like I said, even with the freaking Bills defense, it didn't do a thing. The rookie had 2 sacks. Sweat had 5.5. Johnson with 6. Johnson with 6 picks, speaking of. Looking at the defense or kicking, Santos missed 2 out of 12. Gill 50 on the dot, which we did re-sign him. Did not re-sign Santos. I think he's just regressing a bit, and obviously just had not the best of seasons technically. Rookie of the year again. Am I crazy, or does that not feel like undeserved? Just a little bit. No, 6 sacks is enough for rookie of the year. I mean, we like it. We'll take it. Of course, We got beat by the Cowboys in the championship last time. But surprisingly, they're actually on the road against us. I suppose the Eagles might have just been like really good or something like that, or one of the teams were really good, but that is still really weird. But hey, there's a chance. Not a great chance because it's the Cowboys and Sim. We all know about this freaking disaster, but 0-0. Still 0-0. The defense is doing what it can, but the offense is just doing nothing. Second half, we are all tied up at 7. And we are now up by 7. Offense can just put up one more touchdown. Please, no shot. We get to overtime. We do get to overtime. The Cowboys will have to punt it. A touchdown drive here is not going to happen. What a punt, but unfortunately, we're going to lose the Cowboys back-to-back years. I can't even blame the Cowboys like the way it went because it was a really close game. Caleb, 114 yards. This scheme, bro. 17 rushes. Okay, well, we're moving on to a different scheme. Yes, we made the playoffs. Yes, we won playoff games. But this scheme is just, it's so player-specific. And even then, it doesn't do enough. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. It's not even, like, bad per se, but it doesn't really help the other guys. But at the same time, we don't really need to develop Nabers or Cole Kmet or Swift. They're already pretty high overalls, so we'll see. We'll see if we want to change them or not. I got to think of, like, a team that's kind of fair. Maybe even the Packers scheme, ironically enough, who did just win the Super Bowl. 100 mil after all the signings. I think I did them all. Pretty sure. Caleb Williams is an X Factor. Actually got to X Factor. Oh, no, he was already an X Factor. I forgot. He got the breakout. I'm so confused by it because we lost. I guess you don't need to win anymore. And then we do see that Johnson went straight to Superstar. Holmes was already an X Factor, and we get a dev up for Johnson. That is a huge one. I guess both Johnsons went to Superstar. Whip out your Johnsons. 5th-year option for Darnell Wright. I think that's about the fair price, but you know what? I am actually going to take the 5th-year option here. He is red interest. I think we might have to let him go, so it'll give us a little bit more time to find his replacement, because unless you move him to guard or something, I mean, red interest, going to be asking for more than 15 per, and I just don't think that's a smart idea in-game. But obviously we do see that in real life they would disagree. Teams have said finding a good lineman is not the easiest thing. We are going to pay them when they exist. And we're seeing that in bounties right now in free agency. But here, speaking of free agency, Panay Sewell gets the free agency. That's crazy. I don't know if I've said free agency enough. Looking at who is available. A tackle wouldn't be the worst thing. We need O-linemen, but we need, like, interior players, you know? We could use a replacement for TJ Edwards. The price is just so dumb, because it's like, we all know that the game thinks he's an edge rusher, but he's not. 3 or 39, I think, is fair, and look at that. 3 or 39, and that's how low he is, interestedly. That is crazy. Connor Williams. Okay. I like that. He's actually a pretty good player, and he got to star dev, which is pretty cool. What's his interest? Please. Okay, we have a chance. I don't really want to pay much more than this, but I do really want a new lineman, and we have so much money just doing nothing. I don't think we're going to get him, but we're going to hope. We're going to hope we get him. Thibodeau is there. That is an interesting name drop. Quincy Williams is maybe a cheaper name. We could go Zach Tom and, like, put him at guard. Wouldn't be the worst move in the world. Also a former Packer, which this division loves to go for. Anyone else? Might be kind of it. I mean, need a new kicker. I don't know what I just said, Nuda. Need a new kicker. Could use a new linebacker, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, we'll take a look at linebacker. Maybe Leo Chanel. I seen his name drop there a second ago. Leo Chanel, he's actually not too bad. 80 overall, 25. Wait, why is he so good? Normally he's like a 75 overall, 25 somehow. I don't know what's going on, but I might be willing to pay him a little bit of money here. A 3 or 30. That's kind of on par for his market, I'd say. Let's actually remove Edwards. Sorry, say Edwards, but we found a cheaper replacement. And that might be basically it after a kicker. See if we get any of them. All right, let's see if we get them. We should get most of these guys. Oh, all 4. No Connor Williams, but Zach Tom to left guard, I think, is going to be the move. All right, so we have pick 20, and honestly, all we really need is to get one lineman and then kind of future-proof. Maybe get a safety in case Gordon's not him. Oh, Cobb was actually on my list. Maybe get an edge rusher, speaking of, because we don't know a whole lot about how much longer Mr. Montez Sweat's going to play, and he hasn't really even played that well in general. Do we have any pass rushers? We do have... No, Clement's not even a pass rusher. Ship, Andrews. Ooh, Andrews is still there. And, okay, so I might have to go Andrews, assuming he is a pass rusher. He's huge, so it makes sense. Didn't scout him further because I didn't even know we were going to have a chance at him. I don't actually know if he's good, but a B finesse, the last time I passed on someone that looked kind of like this, he was the best out of the three. Grabbing him. And he's hitting. Okay. Maybe I'm learning a little bit out here. We do not have a third-round pick, so this second-round pick might actually be a trade down for a lineman, just so we can have an opportunity to maybe get 2 linemen. We trade this to like pick 8. Might be able to trade up with whatever we get as an extra to grab these, like a second lineman or something like that. 57, and we get a freaking 2 years from now, 5th. That's the best they can give me? Wait, hello? Why are they giving me this? I'm done. I know the Eagles are guaranteed to pretty much be a good team, but I am down with that. 8 picks back for a third. We've definitely been screwed on a lot of trades as well, so that's kind of a trade where it actually benefits us for once. We also do have... Who is Luke Davis? He's got a bunch of A's. I put him on my list because... do I take a player that I did not project to take at all? I also kind of wanted a tight end because this team loves 2 tight ends, so I was kind of thinking maybe I go that as well. O-line, I mean, I don't know who's really the best here, but I like Wembley and Mann. This could really be stupid, but I'm going to go with Luke Davis because I really like the speed and the A that is in there. And he's hidden. This could be one of those superstars. 99 speed, 99 XL. We have a number 3. Tyler Scott really hasn't developed into that guy. I might even trade him here as he should still be kind of valuable. The Broncos probably need a wide receiver. This would be like their KJ Hamler redo. We trade Tyler Scott in a 4th round pick this year to move up like 50 spots from that 4th round, which is pretty significant, I'll admit. Really want one of those tight ends, man, but I think we need O-line more. You know what? We could go with the tight end and then just go with like the best remaining lineman. This is going to be stupid, isn't it? No, he is hidden. Fair enough. He's just a backup, but okay. I mean, we're kind of crushing it right now, I got to admit. A 5th this, 2 7s, and a 3rd next year to move up to the Jaguar spot to take that center Wembley. I mean, we could future-proof a little bit because, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen with Darnell Wright and whatnot, but I think I'm okay with just taking Wembley and letting everything fly because, I mean, there's some pretty good linemen there, but Wembley, unless he's not hidden, which he is, okay, so we don't need to worry. Probably go for more linemen next year, but as of right now, I actually think we had a really good draft. I'm chilling. All right, draft recap. What are we looking at? 76, 74, 73, 73, and then I took some, backups. But fair enough. Andrew, 76 overall, might be the 83 power move as well. Might be the future of the edge. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year or something like that whenever Sweat's gone. I don't remember how many years that contract is, but it's got to be like somewhat coming up. But Luke Davis, I've seen a lot of these fast type of players that just don't have dev. He looks very raw, I will admit, but he is insanely fast, and that's really all that matters. What is his dev? Only star. Okay, I kind of felt like he was going to be one of those, one of those superstar types, but he was not. The tight end, Bowman, I don't think he's a future replacement for Cole Kmet because Cole Kmet's in a kind of youthful state now still, but we needed a backup tight end, and we save a little bit of money doing so as we don't go for the free agent. And then Wembley, I mean, we'll see his dev whenever as he's going to be our starting center. All right, this Season 3 team, I'm going to be changing the playbooks. I haven't decided yet. Maybe the Packers on offense, just because, like I said, I think it does well for the running back. It does okay for the tight end, and then you usually get some decent wide receiver numbers. But we'll see. Maybe I'll choose someone else. But yeah, left guard maybe, but we did just pay Zach Tom, so it would be kind of weird. Braxton Jones, I wish the ceiling was a little bit higher here, but, keep bumping my head. And then offensively, it's really not much needed, if anything. I forgot to change the playbook because I was thinking about it. I just said, instead of dealing with my problems, I'm just going to pretend they don't exist and they'll go away. Just like everyone's problems in real life. Zach Tom was a 1-year contract, so maybe I am actually going to get rid of him. I thought it was a 2-year in the beginning. But needing to pay Caleb, needing to pay Nabers, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be keeping Tyreek, I think, and then I'm going to be keeping Edmonds, and everyone else can go away. I don't know what the hell is happening here, but I keep re-signing Edmonds, and he just keeps showing back up. He's like, You remember that money you gave me? It's gone. Would you like to offer me more? And Tyreek Stevenson, I offered him well more than he wanted, and he just said, I'd like to play for a new team, so I don't know what to do with that. All right, here it is. We win. We might take the division. We do not take the division. Still rocking the Bears scheme. Like I said, I don't know what to think about that. I mean, at this point, you guys have seen that with a worse team. Okay, 29 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. I don't know how many times I've actually seen 0 interceptions. Had some rushing numbers in there as well, obviously, with this scheme. It might be an MVP season. Sweat killed it. Knowles did well. Johnson and Carter were pretty good. Interceptions were okay. Dicker was not great. New kicker, and he sucked, Dicker. No MVP, but number 2. It's, like I said, it's a good scheme, apparently. We're doing well, but at the same time, it's not really realistic. Like, is Caleb Williams going to be rushing for 700 to 900 yards a season? I mean, if he does, I would be genuinely shocked. But, yeah, I mean, we could still win a Super Bowl with this scheme, but I might change it. If we don't win the Super Bowl here, I'm going to change it 100% to something a little bit more standard, if you will. All right, going to the end of the game. Carolina does pretty well. I don't know what sounded like I was starting up a beater car. 13-7. 20-7. Someone's got a car that sounds just like that, and they're like, wow, that was kind of unnecessary. 20-14. 23-14. Not a pretty performance, but it is the playoffs, and all that matters is you are moving on, and we are. Like I said, Caleb Williams in the playoffs has really not done a whole lot, but we do win. Oh my God, of all the name drops, Wan'Dale Robinson for 191 yards, Knowles with 2 sacks, a couple interceptions for both sides, and they did miss a kick, which in the end was the difference between winning and losing, which is pain. For them, of course. For us, I love it. Here we are in the divisional round. Maybe they did update the game. I don't know. It seems like, we're not getting the passing numbers in this scheme because it is a very specific scheme, in fairness. But we are getting some pretty good numbers and wins with a scheme that's not really known for winning too much in Sim with the Bears. So, fair enough. Maybe it is winnable with just certain schemes as long as you actually have the talent around. Obviously, we have a really good running back. We have 2 really good wide receivers and a solid tight end. And a great quarterback. I don't know if I mentioned that, but solid tight end. I mean, you just can't avoid these words. It's just the way it is. But 7-0 to start. We do get a touchdown back, but it took us a little bit longer to get there. 10-7. Nice drive with a touchdown is huge. Could be back to the championship round like we were year 1. And if that was a touchdown drive, for sure. Without it, though, it's still enough. We got a touchdown. I was about to say another 23-point game for the win, but nope, this time we did put up just enough to push us over the top. McCarthy as a Seahawk is interesting. 301 with 2 touchdowns for Williams. A lot better performance this game. Definitely his best playoff game yet. Sacks, didn't really see much from us. Sweat had 1, but yeah, it's interesting to see that we don't have, I guess, on defense, not too many superstar names, yet we are playing really well on both sides of the ball, so kind of impressed with us. I mean, I'm happy, as we're, about to be in the championship round with the Bears scheme. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. To the championship round. It is against the Niners. Not the toughest team, not an easy team, but it's not the Cowboys. This is winnable. We're a 91 overall team, too, which is really awesome. Going to the end of the game. 0-0. Battle of the number 13s. 3-0. Not bad. Come on, touchdown. Nice. 10-0. We can actually do this thing. Ooh, huge touchdown drive for them. Come on, Chicago. You can do it, I believe. 20-7. Seems like that 20-point margin is all we really need to win games. His defense is back to the old monsters. It's crazy. Caleb Williams, not spectacular, but once again, the rushing numbers are crazy, though. But once again, the defense absolutely cooking up. And we are in the Super Bowl. To the Super Bowl against the Colts. Seen this Colts team make the playoffs in the Super Bowl quite a bit lately. Let's take a look at what our dev is, or dev ups, I suppose, are, if any. And we have, I don't think anyone on offense. Defensively, I don't think anyone defensively either. Not even Gordon. Oh, maybe Sweat, actually. Maybe Sweat wasn't an X Factor before. I can't remember. He was not. So that's a pretty big dev up for someone that's, on the side of regression, really. We're going to upgrade these guys automatically and head on into this potential Super Bowl win. Where is the upgrades? There they are. Boom. Done. Year 3 Super Bowl, the Packers one was a 2-year, year 2 Super Bowl win. Didn't get anything else. I have a feeling, though, this one could win multiple Super Bowls. So we'll see. Aaron Donald and Ramsey and the Colts. It's just unfair. It's so bullcrap. They just got them. Kind of BS, but it is what it is. Drive down for 3 to start. We get 7 back. Beautiful. Good stop. 7 again. Give up a touchdown, unfortunately. Drive down for nothing. Give them enough time to do something, but they don't take it. Second half, the Colts are giving us a little bit of a run here. We're not scoring. Please. Okay, nice drive. We need the stop, though. Defense hasn't been bad. Wait, what just happened? It was like 3rd and 11. Did they get a game-winning penalty? Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I mean, it was good enough to get to the Super Bowl. We didn't win the Super Bowl with the Bears scheme, but it was pretty good. Looking at the numbers, Caleb Williams wasn't the problem, though. He's not throwing that many picks. You know, he hasn't had, like, one of those type of bad games, but he also hasn't been very good. Sweat with 2 sacks. They had 2 combined. Kicking was clean. Just didn't put up enough points. But yeah, fell short by 3 points. That 20 margin is kind of where we usually get. Wild card round, you know, just couldn't get any wins to 30. Couldn't get the points to 30. And the one time we really needed to get pretty close to that is the game we lose. But year 4, maybe that's our year, as we are a really good roster. We're retaining pretty much everyone. I don't know what's going to happen with Tyreek Stevenson, though, because we kind of sold a little bit, and he is a pending free agent here, and I can't really afford to tag him with Caleb Williams and Nabers on the list here. Caleb, I think you do tag. You get the 5th-year option because... oh, no, you don't, because it's $70 million. Forget that. Nabers, might as well just not do it either. Franchise tag, nope. So we're losing a pretty good player. He's already 27. I know he was a 23-year-old rookie, but... so we are kind of losing some names, right? We're losing the corner, we're losing left guard. I think we could easily replace the left guard and technically don't need to replace the corner because we already have Hoover. I think that's what his name was, right? Either way, 75 mil left. Can't really spend it here, though, because we have to pay, Caleb and Nabers. But I am curious to see who is there. A bunch of linemen, of course. Now, all of a sudden, a bunch of interior linemen. Maybe try to get Zach Tom on, like, 10 mil per. Anything higher, though, I'm not going to do. So, we'll see. This is a little bit easy. You know, math ain't that hard. But it's just a little easier to do it this way, you know? So, a 2-year 22. That's not the best of contracts. It's 11 mil per. I mean, I don't know if anyone's going to offer him that much. They are. And we do not get him. So, to the draft for a lineman replacement. All right, so we have pick 31. I kind of wanted a DB, a safety mainly. Pretty much all the corners looked like they were going to be gone by our pick, so I'm just going to skip to this pick and see what we got. We definitely need O-line, but we should be fine with that. Who are these guys? Why didn't I actually look at these safety? Oh, 23. Okay, maybe that's why. And then obviously this guy's around 1, so I would not have expected him to be here this long. I might end up actually taking him because the value seems pretty good. A lot of corners that could play safety. Yeah, I think I'm going to take that guy. I don't know if he's going to be any good, but Justin Romero, normal dev. I don't know what we're looking at, but the fact that we're at 31 and around 1 projected guy was still there definitely doesn't seem too great, but maybe he has a decent overall, and I don't know. It seems, because we see it all the time with corners that somehow stick around forever. Bartell went. Maybe he was a 2 to 3, but I had him on my list as well. 3 to 4. Do we future? Are all my linemen gone? I think they were. I thought one of them was 3 to 4. There's no way I just sold that hard. I mean, unless I take, like, the only guy I can really see that looks great is this Aiden Toon. But I don't really know much about him. I mean, he looks so bad. I might trade this pick for a proven lineman. They just got this guy wasting away behind Quentin Nelson, so I'm going to trade this late second for his superstar 23-year-old 76 overall lineman. And at 15, if there's a linebacker there, I might take a linebacker. Don't tell me Traylor was one of my linebackers as well, was he? No way. Okay, we do have Gooden and Gant still here. I mean, I suppose Gooden looks the best just based off of first glance. 21 years old. Sadly normal. Yeah, this was not a good draft. We didn't take our own second-round pick. We had 2 normals. Man, what a disgustingly bad draft we just had. I mean, we didn't really need anything technically, but still. Could have done so much better. I might take both of these corners. Kind of like both of them. Marvin Robinson, potential future safety, really tall, or not really tall, but good jumping anyways, which kind of counts as being tall. And then we're going to take the other guy. I don't know if he's going to play number 3, he's going to play safety, whatever happens, but Lance Hillhouse is going to be my choice. And, hey, he's hidden. Nice. Probably only going to be star, but we'll take any hidden devs we can get. And we probably trade this one down for next year, and then if we have any extra picks left over, which we might, we maybe go for, like, fullback, whatever, kind of stuff like that. And I was about to say, I kind of nonchalantly took this guy, but he had a couple of B's and A's in there and was on The Walking Dead. All right, here we go. Draft recap. Tell me that safety was at least decent. Yeah, he was a 75 overall, in fairness. Cornerback, the only guy I think in the entire draft that we got that was hidden was this guy. Very good zone coverage. I would imagine the other guy's built similarly. Future strong safety, maybe? I'm not really sure. He's kind of small for strong safety, but I don't really know else where I would put him. Robinson is a little more athletic, so corner would make a little bit more sense. What is his man coverage? A little bit better, but also still pretty raw. The safety's actually not bad. It's just, once again, normal dev, so not a bad pick, and I think he was 21, right? He was 22, actually, damn. It is now Season 4, and I'm going to go with the Bengals offense. You know, this season they would have projected, you know, Joe Mixon there. Obviously, he's traded now. And 2 good wide receivers. So that's what I figure makes sense. And a good quarterback. So I think it makes sense. That's kind of what we have. We obviously have a really good tight end, but some things just can't be done, all right? Unless I go with the Falcons playbook and, you know, then we pretty much guarantee a Super Bowl win. The team looks great. Let's see if we can win a Super Bowl. Wait, is Dwayne Carter an X Factor? How? I have not seen many Superstar to X Factor DevOps, especially for the D-line. All right, 150. Oh, we have a lot of money. Oh my God. Okay, it's a lot of money, but it's not like, you know, this would be pretty fair value for how good of a rating player he is. Neighbors, why not? Let's do one of these, because I know it's going to cost quite a bit. I mean, even then, it wasn't enough. Justin Jefferson, is that you? What up, man? 2-year 43 for Jalen. So we have 34 mil left over, and we have to pay Carter, Cole Kmet, Montez Sweat, DeAndre Swift, Darnell Wright, Tevin Jenkins. Oh my God. Okay, so for the first time in a while on a rebuild, we're actually going to have to play through a season, unless we win a Super Bowl here, I guess, where we feel the pains of losing like half your team. Sweat's for sure gone. Cole Kmet's for sure gone. If I could keep Swift on a 2-year 22, I'd do it. So we have 2 mil left over, and we need to replace 2 linemen, a pass rusher, and a tight end. But in theory, we already have a lot of that solved. All right, going to the end of the season. Let's see if we're in the playoffs. Looked pretty good. Oh, nice finish, actually. We were doing pretty well, but we must have won the final 4 games. And we did. I mean, we won the final 6 games, actually. Pretty strong finish, obviously. Let's take a look at the stats and awards. Maybe we don't have to deal with the fall off, but let's take a look at those numbers. Caleb Williams in the Bengals scheme, 42 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 4,200 yards. Looks like an MVP year to me. Swift, pretty damn good. Neighbors should be an X factor. DJ Moore was decent. Davis was decent. Cole Kmet was okay. Blocking, pretty good for, you know, non-household names, if you will. Pass rush, Sweat killed it. Carter killed it. Johnson was great, and then Knowles was nothing, but Sweat, we just can't afford, simply put. We just cannot afford it. Dicker missed 2 kicks again, but this time out of 13, so I guess slightly better percentages. And apparently Neighbors was a punt return guy for us. Really? Caleb Williams is number 4 with a season like that. Hell yeah, dude. Best quarterback, though? Not even best QB. Did win best wide receiver, though, but I am shocked that that's number 4 numbers. 42 touchdowns to 3 interceptions is 4th in the MVP. I mean, that would be like good enough to win 2 MVPs as of last year. And, well, here it is, the Cowboys. Here it is, the Dallas Cowboys. We have, did we beat them? No, I think we lost both times we played them. This is now the 3rd game, 7-7. The Cowboys are super strong. They do get the field goal before half. We get the field goal after half. In an okay spot, but we're only getting field goals, man. We need touchdowns, huge touchdown drive, and we're going to win the game. That is basically already a Super Bowl championship. We've done it. I don't know if we're actually going to win a Super Bowl, but that's the equivalency in difficulty to winning a Super Bowl. That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, there might just be something to year 3/year 4. Obviously, we won a year 2 Super Bowl with the Packers and then didn't win another one for the whole rest of the rebuild. But yeah, there might be something there. There just might, I don't know. It's just like the timing works out the best. His physical's a little low, but I think his release still should be pretty damn high. 4 to release it. No, it's not. Holy crap. 80 release after a +4 is bonkers. Is it going to be the Niners again? The Cowboys are an 83 overall and gave us that much trouble. The Rams? I know we've seen this a little bit lately, but the Rams of all teams. The Rams beat the... Oh, for some reason I just didn't see the team. They beat the Commanders by 11, not the craziest team to beat. Then the Eagles, though, is pretty impressive. Then on the other side, it's the Colts and the Chiefs, which, I mean, seemingly seems to be 2 really good competitors for a Super Bowl win anyways. 93 to their 86. Let's get it. John Johnson's still there and a starter. Like, am I crazy, or does it seem like he should probably not be there still? Like, he should probably have retired or been so regressed he's not a starter. Did see the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, or not the Super Bowl, they won their the championship round, so they're in the Super Bowl. Let's wait till we actually get there and see who wins against them, but not really looking too good. And the offense, there's no way. Barely does enough. The choke job was on. Don't get me wrong, the defense didn't play well, but the offense was just giving up short fields, not scoring. And we do barely, because of the defense, make the Super Bowl. The defense clutched up so hard, it's insane. But here it is, the Super Bowl. It is the Chiefs. Let's see our potential dev-ups if we add any. We have 3 overalls on them. Maybe Nabers. Nabers to X Factor. Not really surprised by that. And then nobody on defense. Still no dev-up for Gordon. That is really unfortunate, but here it is, the Chiefs. Can we finally win a Super Bowl, or is this Bears team just not going to win one? We obviously have 1 more year left if we were to lose this game to try and win it, but, I mean, this is our best team. We're about to lose a lot of players, so if you don't win it now, is there even a chance to win it at all? Going to the end of the game. I mean, we did not have a great game last game at all. Good start, though. We hold them to 3. We get a touchdown. They get another 3. We get a 3, though. It's up by 4 again. That's fine. And we give them a short field. They do nothing with it. Second half, up by 11. Chiefs are not going to go away. It's an 8-point game. They get the touchdown. Do not get the 2-point. A touchdown would win it, I think. We got the touchdown. We got the stops. And back-to-back successful rebuilds, this time with the Bears. Last one was with the Packers. And we are losing some players, maybe even Nabers, because I tried to get him, and he's like, I want to play for a new team, even though I offered him $30 million per. Maybe we'll have to tag him, but the team's still pretty much set up for the future. We have that backup tight end that's going to have to start, and then Swift will play like maybe 2 more seasons as at an elite level. And then you have to replace some linemen, but that's doable. That's not too big of a deal. As long as you keep Nabers, you have that elite wide receiver duo. Although I don't know how long until DJ Moore is like not elite anymore either. But Caleb Williams with the Bears is a Super Bowl champion. They have their greatest quarterback of all time. And it's not many years in, but it absolutely already would be their number 1, without a doubt. Some pretty impressive seasons there. And it's happened. We have won the Super Bowl as the Bears, which is, I mean, we almost did it with the Bears scheme, but switched it because we fell short and wanted something a little bit more, like I said, traditional, if you will. Defensively, sack totals, Knowles, Cook, Sweat was pretty decent. I mean, the defense really just a staple as Dicker missed a kick. Please stop. But yeah, I'll show you guys the win-loss total. It was obviously 1 across the board. No like restarts or anything like that. But let's take a look at the team. I'm kind of curious to see how good Caleb Williams got to, especially Nabers as well. He was damn near 99 himself. DJ Moore, what did he get to? 95 overall. Caleb Williams, the 99 overall, and he's only 24. 95 short, 99 medium, 97 deep, 97 throw power, and outside of play action and break sack kind of. Almost 99 everything else as well. Doesn't seem like his speed went up, but he's obviously a goon. Let's take a look at Mr. DJ Moore, who is 30 years old. He's actually a little younger than I thought. He's pretty damn elite across the board. What is Swift's overall? 91. Okay, I thought it said 88. I was like, oh, maybe we did sell re-signing him. I don't think that's better than our DeAndre Swift in our Bears franchise, but, it's pretty hard to do that. Nabers, 97 overall. Release is pretty bad, but everything else is amazing, obviously. So it's pretty ironic because that's actually kind of a knock on him in real life. So fair enough, I guess. Cole Kmet, route running, it is what it is. 98 catch. See the offensive line. I guess since these guys are real-life Bears linemen, we might as well. 85 overall for Wright. Pretty good power blocker, so it would, like I said, make a little more sense playing guard, which we actually did in that Bears franchise, like I said. I'm not just trying to push you guys over to the Bears franchise, but, it's a relevant topic. Tevin Jenkins, finesse blocking for pass, and his regular pass blocking, not the best, but everything else is actually really elite. And then we move over to Mr. Braxton Jones, who's only an 84 overall, surprisingly. Very good pass blocker, iffy run blocker, but that's what you kind of want when you have a franchise quarterback. Then we look over to the defense. Edmonds can never get this guy to superstar in that franchise, but you got it here in year one. Obviously, wasn't really a part of us. It was because of his real-life stats, but a dev up is a damn dev up. Holmes drafted him as an X Factor, 91 overall. Really good block shedding, solid zone coverage, good catching. Man coverage is a little iffy, but he's a really good player, obviously, and someone we definitely will not be able to afford. Leo Chanel, obviously he'll be on the way out at some point. Only an 83 overall. Didn't really upgrade too much, but a good block shedder. I wouldn't say a poor man's Edwards, but kind of. And then Gordon, I think he'd still probably be... No, he is zone coverage. Yeah, I think that's a smart move playing him at safety. That's what I wanted to do in the Bears franchise, speaking of, but because of the change direction rating, it's a little unfair. His jumping and change direction is really high for a safety. But Brisker, kind of your Jamal Adams type, if you will, didn't get any zone coverage at all. And then we look at Jalen Johnson, the 93 overall. Still can't get him to superstar either in that franchise. 99 zone, 88 man, very good speed. Then move on to the other side, the other corner, Hoover, who is an 86 overall. Not quite elite, but then again, Stevenson wasn't too high of an overall either. I think he was like 84 overall, 27, so his ceiling was probably 87, 88, and Hoover's easily getting that. Knowles, 85 overall, 93 finesse, never really had an elite season. And then Sweat, who obviously really started to play well, is starting to regress, 89 overall at 30 years old. Can't afford him, unfortunately, so he's going to pretty much be on his way out. But we do have the replacement Andrews waiting to start any minute now. He's 81 overall with high upside. Kind of reminded me of like a more developed Lucas Van Ness there, although a lot slower, so I don't know what I'm even saying. Antonio Johnson, 83 overall, great finesse, decent strength. Yeah, it's weird that we had him and Carter both have like very identical like glow-ups, if you will, from normal to superstar in the first season for themselves. Really good ratings for Carter. 96 power move, 91 strength, and what is that, 86 block shed from where he started is very impressive. All hail the 4-3. That's all I can really say about that. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this rebuild. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you are new. If you're not new, I do appreciate continued support on the channel. I know a lot of rebuilds. Might do one more because I did kind of, put the vote up and you guys wanted a Giants rebuild. And that might even be the team that I use for my Madden franchise next year. We'll see. But I feel like it'd be kind of sleazy not to. I usually use the polls more as, well, a way to make money on the weekends. But I use the polling system more to kind of dictate, okay, this one is getting like no percentages, so why would I even do that? But if it's like, one's like 30%, one's 38%, I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to do the 30% anyways. So it's not like the poll is like, number one gets it every time. It's just... It's kind of like a test it, It's like the presidential polls, I suppose. It's like, oh, the polling says this guy's up whatever points, and then it doesn't end up becoming the win or whatever. But, yeah, just like a gauging of interest. So, might do a Giants tomorrow, but I do kind of want to, like, relax on the rebuilds a little bit and do a little bit more of actual Bison's franchise. Also give me a little bit more things to rebuild until the draft, which is still, significantly away times-wise. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know if a Bison's franchise would have came up today, but it definitely will come up tomorrow. And then I think no matter what, I'll do one on Friday as well because I'm supposed to upload one today, and I just don't know if it's going to happen. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video,